Hello, this is going to be the beginning of a series of videos that are to help you learn how to sing vocal music at sight and to be able to read the pitches and not just watch them go up and down, but actually to know how far to go with your voice and things like that. I'm not going to teach letter names. I'm going to use a numeric system assigning numbers to different pitches. And the basics here are going to start with the C major scale. If you'll give me just a minute, let me get my camera zoomed in on the board so you can see it better. Okay, for instance, we're going to start with the key of C. The key of C has no sharps, which is the number sign, or no flats, which is the little B. And you would normally see those right in front of this treble clef. I'm going to be making some assumptions that you know some things. And then, so when there's no sharps or flats in front of the treble clef, your key is the key of C, which happens to be this note with a line going through it as an extension of the staff down. It's called a ledger line. And that becomes your first note in the scale, which we would sing as, and this may or may not be a C. I'm doing this a cappella, but 1, we're going to call that 1. So you would sing up your scale, starting with your line, then a space, and then you're on the staff, and it alternates line, space, line, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Sing that with me and follow the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And of course, if you're a female, you can sing up the octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some people would call this an 8. I call it a 1 because it doesn't just end the octave you're in, it also starts the new octave. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you kept going on up, okay? All right, now if we take these lined and spaced notes up here and you put them on a staff in a pattern, okay? Patterns make up music, basically. Sometimes you would have a 1 and a 1, and you'd have on the second line up, you'd have, it looks like that's a 5, 2 5s in a row, and then there's 2 6s. You basically just connect the number to the note on the staff, all right? And you sing the numbers. So if this is 1, then to be able to know how far up to go with your voice, you would have to count up to 5 in your head. It's called internalizing. So we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 5, or twinkle, twinkle. 1 to 5 is also the same interval as twinkle, twinkle, little star. So you would go 1, 1, 5, 5. Do you see that? Okay. Then you go up to a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5. All right, and then we're just going down the scale. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. So that's the basics of doing it in the key of C with no sharps and flats. Now, in the next few videos, I'll be changing keys so that the 1 will change depending on what key we're in. But for right now, it's no sharps and flats. Now, if you were to assign just numbers and forget the notes so that you can practice being able to go between intervals and also learning to internalize in your head without actually hearing things with your ear, you should be able to look at this set of numbers and tell me what song this is without any notes. You could even do it without even hearing it. But just to make sure, because I know it's a little small on the video, these are all 3s right here. And then you have a 5, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 5. And these lines going through here are basically telling you where the musical breaks will be. So if your number is, you want to find out where 3 is, you always revolve around 1. So you would start on 1 and count up to 3 with your scale. It doesn't matter what pitch you start on unless you're actually being accompanied by an instrument. But for now, 1 is 1, so we're going to count up to 3 to get our first note. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then you would sing all those 3s, and then we have a jump between 3 and 5. So you have to internalize what that jump would sound like. 1, 2, 3, there's your first note, then you would go 3, 4, 5, 3, 5. So when you get there, you need to hear that 3, 5 interval. And then you go down to 1, 5, 1. Always keep 1 in your head, because that's your frame of reference. 5. If you get lost, you can always go to 1 and find your way back again. 3, 5, 1, and then you go up the scale. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you have all these 3s, and then here's a big jump here between 2 to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5. That's what that interval is going to sound like. So I realize I'm going kind of fast right now, but this is just the basics, right? If we were to go through this song, find our first pitch, 1, 2, 3, you'd go 3, 3, 3, break, 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 5. Sounds like a song you probably know, Jingle Bells, right? And with that information, you could actually go yourself and take these notes that you have assigned numbers to for the key of C, and you could write them out on a staff yourself. If you took these numbers, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, and you just write it out on the staff yourself. That's the beginning of doing it. Now, if you were to quickly take the Baptist hymnal, probably the 2000 version, one of the later versions, and turn to the back. Page 653. It's the Amen section. And then you could take these Amens. Let me adjust my camera real quick. Okay, you could take these Amens on 653, and you'd see that that first note would be 1 if you're reading all the stems up on the top line. You'd have 2 1s in a row, and then you go up to the next step, which is a 2 on the ah, and then there's a kind of a slur, which goes up to a 3, and then the men is a 4, the ah is a 4, and then men is a 3. So you'd go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, and then you could assign the lyric to that. Amen, amen, amen. If you did the same thing on 654, which is right next to it, your first note, and again, I know that this is the key of C because there's no sharps or flats after the treble clef. That first note on the top note, on the top staff, is it starts on a 5, and then it goes up to a 1, and comes down to a 7, and again, you can match all these up with your scale. Okay, with your notes that are written out. So that's a 5 going up to a 1, coming down to a 7. Then the men in the second measure is a 6. Ah is a 6. Men is a 5. Ah is a 4. And then your last 2 notes on men are 4 and 3. So you find your first note by starting on 1 and counting up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to leap up to the high one. 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 1, and then come down the scale. 5, 1, 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3. Now I'm assuming that you probably know how to read some rhythm. That's why I'm not taking time to tell you which notes are long or which ones are short. But basically, the more, the general rule of thumb is the more black a note is colored in, the faster it goes. So the ones that aren't filled in generally are longer. But you can find plenty of websites. www.musictheory.net is a great resource to be able to find out duration of notes, and if you want to know the letter names, you can go there as well. www.musictheory.net. Anyway, that's a basic course, and in the next video I will do things involving how to do other keys and still keep the same number system. Thanks.